just playing something positive out of Leicester. That's why we're whacking the tunes out for you.
Positive. This is Brentford's song right now. We're all talking about Leicester. What about Brentford's performance? They beat them 4-0.
Didn't have to do it though, did they?
Didn't have to do much, but still 4-0. They're on fire, eh?
Tonight.
They're on fire
tonight.
They are Kasabian tonight. Hey, Kasabian at Shepherd's Bush Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you? What are you doing?
No, I'm not going. I got invited down, but I'm not going. Okay. I've got player review thing to do, but yeah.
There you go, kids. It's just in case you wanted some gig information.
Yeah, get your tickets. 2,000 capacity. Shepherd's Bush O2 Academy. Come on.
That's it.
That's their plug.
Chris, how are you, mate? You okay?
Yeah, not too bad considering.
Go on, mate. Did you go to the game?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Did you do the full 90, or did you decide to call it at some point?
No, I did the full 90.
You done the full 90? Damn.
Yeah, but it started chucking it down, didn't it?
So you just in there for shelter. Just used it for shelter.
I had about a 15-minute walk to the car.
Yeah. Waiting for it rain to finish before you could go.
It was already raining on the pitch. Like, you just wanted to see them suffer a little bit more.
That's it.
Oh, gosh.
Talk me through it, Chris.
It's shocking. I mean, it's a pattern, isn't it? Started well, had energy, couple of chances. They didn't go in. By that time, the other team settled down, and they just pick us apart at the back. And it's just, as soon as those chances don't go in, heads are down. Rude's interview's interesting as well, isn't it? I mean, like you say, that is like a throw in the towel in interview. To be honest, I think he'd take the sack. I think he'd love the sack.
Yeah, depending on what his contract's like.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, of course, and we don't know. Everybody says he's not backed in the transfer window, which was true.
Yeah.
But we don't know. We don't know what promises were made. So, did they promise him something? He hasn't complained about that, so maybe not. But
some managers don't complain, do they? Some managers just get on with it out of respect for the club.
But you look at Ipswich though, and I don't think they've necessarily got a better squad than Leicester. I really don't. But you just think they've got more about them.
Yeah, so, well, they seem... This is what I wanted to ask you, Chris, right? Is it down to... Are the team, in your opinion, being set up correctly? Is he picking the right lads for what you need at this moment?
I mean, a lot of people will say, Buonanotte, Mavididi, put them in. They're exciting attacking players, which they are. But we weren't pulling up trees with them in the starting lineup.
Okay.
We put Decord over Reading, and look at him against Spurs.
Yeah.
He had a big part in us. So I can understand why then he's thinking, okay, I want to put Decord over Reading. But when you look at them.
So is it application then of the player? Is it down to the individuals that they're not putting the shift in?
I don't think it's that they're not putting a shift in. I don't think.
You don't think it is?
Trying. I don't think they're not trying, but I find it really difficult watching them working out what they're trying to do. They're playing some nice through. Every now and then they'll play a nice through ball, and it's almost like they're just hoping somebody's going to get on the end of
I know what you're saying,
and give them a lift. And like we did against Southampton when we came back and beat them 3-2. We were still rubbish for most of the game, but we just got that lift at the end. And they and the other team panicked. I think we're almost relying on other teams making mistakes.
Yeah, but Rude says that you have to raise the level. Like he's saying that the level's nowhere near good enough. So he's basically saying the players ain't good enough.
Yeah, no, I disagree.
So you disagree with Rude? That's his team, right?
Yeah, I think our squad, I'm not saying we're not going to struggle, but I don't look at that Leicester squad compared to other squads that are towards the bottom end and think, oh my God, that squad should be definitely at the bottom. There's still stuff in that squad. Like Samari's coming out of himself, and Samari's playing better than he's played for us previously. We got Wilfred Ndidi in there. That lad, that El Canoes lad, such fast, lovely feet.
But they got to understand what's wanted for Rude wants them to play a certain way. Can they not get it that he wants to play a certain way, or do you think they're thrown in the towel because they can't play the way Rude wants them to play?
I don't know. It's difficult to work when you watch them. It's difficult to work out exactly what they're trying to do.
Direction.
When I watch him, and I've only seen him a couple of times, I'm not paying too much attention to him, but it does seem like there is no real shape. There's no structure. Do you know, like when you, for example, you watch Everton pre-Moyes, and they seemed a little bit all over the place, right? You know what David Moyes does? He comes in, gets you organised, gets you bang up for it. He said, listen, first thing you're going to do is graft. Then we'll put some cherries on top of this cake, all right? And you look at Everton now.
How do they graft, though? What is the first thing that he does?
Well, he gives them organisation.
Defensively.
Yeah, exactly. He puts them in a shit. He said, right, this is your job.
Yeah.
Do not deviate from your job.
Then
forget everything else.
Yeah, then after that, we'll think about attacking.
That's it. Mm-hmm. So therefore, he's constantly drilling the defensive aspect of it. If we don't concede, then we can't get beat. Simple as that. We'll go from that point. I look at Leicester, and they're all over the place. Yeah. Look at the goals tonight. I'm like...
Yeah, it was...
That is, mate, come on. Sunday League.
That fourth goal... That was dribble.
Nobody's following the lad in for the cross. The cross comes in. He just got a little flick header.
You're right. That's Sunday League.
Mate, he's 6 yards out, man.
That's Sunday League.
Go and nail him. What's up with you?
Yeah.
It's mate. But is that down to the desire? This is why I'm asking the fans.
But that's down to
desire of the player.
Desire of the player.
Is it?
And it's making the right decisions at the right times. So it's decision making too.
Okay. So you're putting it more down to the desire of the player rather than to the actual...
For me, listen, I'm coming from a place where I've been relegated before, and obviously inside yourself you don't want to be, you don't want to look bad. You don't want to. You're not saying, but there's a percentage of you thinking you're going to blame somebody else anyway. So it's not my fault. He's not doing that. He should have done that better. But do you know what I mean? And then it just becomes...
How old were you when you got relegated?
Accountability.
How old were you?
How old was I?
Yeah.
When we got relegated? 27.
Early 20s? Oh, right, okay.
27, 28.
So would you put that down... I mean, that's maybe the wrong question for you at that particular age, but would you put that down to maybe a maturity level of taking that accountability of yourself in those particular moments?
I just think... It was just disjointed. We didn't have enough togetherness. We didn't have the right... I don't want to throw him under the bus, but the manager wasn't actually giving us a clear and directed...
This is what we're doing.
This is what we're doing. We didn't know what we were doing. So... But we would run about a little bit, but then you think... what's the point?
Because we're running up blind alleys. Yeah. So is this coming down to the manager then? Is he being clear with this team? Because I look at him and I think you lot are all over the place.
That's why I said he's fairly a new manager. He's probably not managed a team in these diabolical straits before, and he's probably trying to figure it out on the job. Don't know what's been promised to him in the January window either. So we don't know where he's at. He don't know what the players are thinking. The players don't know what he's thinking, but... The only thing he can do, as you said earlier, what David Moyes would have done would have been to get the defensive structure. You don't really need new players for that. No. You just need to have a solid base to build from. And I don't think they've got that at the moment. And I always say this as well about strikers as managers. Naturally, we want to go and score goals. Like, we want to be attack. We want to be attack minded. We want to be, we'll do more than you. We'll score more goals than you. Where, as a defensive person, they will suit this role more being in the relegation battle because they'll think about they'll think everything to be on the defence before attacking, and maybe that's what's going on at Leicester. And a striker coming in as your
relegation saviour.
Okay. I just don't think it's the right appointment for now. But I did have hope that Rude would be that guy because he is a lovely fella. You can see that he's a great guy, and the players might have responded to him, but it just doesn't look like. I think maybe at the first 2, 3, 4 weeks it was happening, but I think the players are losing belief again.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy, Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.